Episode 1, Giacomo the Thermostat. Once upon a time, in a towering Victorian house in Ohio, there lived a thermostat named Giacomo. His features were sweet and delicate, his silvery face was round and shiny, and his blue sapphire eyes often sparkled in the moonlight. A faint red scar danced across his forehead throughout the day as his temperature fluctuated, though it often held steady at a cozy 60 degrees Fahrenheit. In the living room where Giacomo hung on the wall, there stood an antique coffee table known by the name of Josephine. Her legs were covered in hand-carved flower tattoos that were wrapped around thick, chiseled stems. Made of a dark and delicious cherry wood, Josephine was the most beautiful furniture piece in the room, at least according to Giacomo. Now, Giacomo hadn't always felt this way about Josephine. In fact, it wasn't until a very hasty venture to the supermarket where she caught his attention. Episode 2, When Giacomo Met Josephine. We left off discussing Giacomo the thermostat and Josephine the coffee table, both furniture pieces in a Victorian home somewhere in Ohio. Giacomo ran into Josephine at the supermarket one day when he was on a mission to buy some frozen peas. His temperature had been off the charts, and he was hoping to soothe his fever. As he was debating which frozen vegetable to purchase, a gust of air billowed from one of the glass bays a few doors down. There stood a coffee table, Josephine, staring at the ice cream selections. He watched her select a pint of coffee gelato, place it in her cart, and walk away. Giacomo recognized her as his housemate Josephine and was immediately smitten. Back at home, he wondered, how have I never noticed her before? Maybe I should ask her out. He felt nervous not knowing if Josephine liked him back, but he was determined to give it a shot. Episode 3, Giacomo asks Josephine out. As Giacomo, the thermostat, held a frozen bag of peas to his face, he thought deeply about what to say to Josephine. She suddenly glanced in his direction and said, "Hey, you were at the supermarket just now." Giacomo froze to his bag of peas, unable to utter a single word. "Giacomo, right?" Josephine continued. "Yes, and you are..." "Josephine?" he managed to say. "I am." Her voice had a sing-songy quality that melodically vibrated in Giacomo's ears. Feeling calmer, he asked Josephine, "Would you like to go on a date with me sometime?" Her face softened into a strawberry glow. "Oh, Giacomo, I don't think so." Giacomo hung his head in disappointment, his cheeks flushed and his temperature red-hot. But then Josephine softly added, "I think you're so handsome, and you have a beautiful heart, but I'm in love with someone else." Episode 4, Marcella, the lesbian floor lamp. Josephine was secretly in love with Marcella, the lesbian floor lamp. Poor Giacomo, but he will find love again, just you wait. Now, Josephine had been reflecting on her romantic attraction for a while. Much of her self-discovery was due to a certain floor lamp inhabiting the corner of their wallpapered living room. A woven stem of gold, Marcella's structure was tall and narrow, glamorous and sensual. Her lamp shade showcased a vintage bulb, and her light danced across the room's decor, bathing everyone in a dandelion glow. While Giacomo served as the home's thermostat, Marcella offered a uniquely warming presence. She raved about the electric energy that she felt when female passerbys glimpsed into the front windows. Sparks would fly. It's shocking that a house fire has never broken out, but blame it on the lesbian floor lamp if one ever does. Marcella just made Josephine feel some type of way. Episode 5, Joe's coffee table book. It wasn't long before Josephine caught Marcella's eye as well, and one afternoon they spoke. "Hey Joe, can I borrow your art book for a party I'm throwing?" "Of course. I love Edward Hopper's A Woman in the Sun." "I didn't know you were into art, Joe." "I am. My favorite painter is Giorgio Morandi." "Madai, my grandmother was Morandi's kerosene lamp in his studio in Bologna." "I thought you might be Italian." "Ah, si. Josephine's flower tattoos swooned as she witnessed Marcella's Italian persona come to life. "Listen, Joe, why don't you come to the party? It's gonna be a bunch of queer types." "I'm queer too." "You are, Joe? The tattoos! Your witchy crystals! Next to the art book with all the paintings of naked women! I should have known." "I don't know what label feels right for me yet, but I don't date cis straight men." "I love that for you, Joe." "Well, see you Friday then." And their conversation came to a close. Episode 6, Marcella's upcoming party. Josephine was so excited for the party, but deep down, she just wanted to know if Marcella was interested in her. Not surprisingly, Marcella had numerous potential suitors, and she attracted many eyes to her corner of the room. There was that Art Deco teaspoon Dora, Jazz the honeypot, Magic the mirror, and Alex, the pour-over coffee maker. Alex had that classic hourglass figure, you know? Josephine felt anxiety creeping as she compared herself to others, but she knew character was the most important part of a friend or partner, and she was a kind, dependable, and giving coffee table. She believed her Taurus earth energy balanced Marcella's fiery Leo aura quite well, right? But let's press pause on Josephine's inner monologue for just a moment to talk about one of the other invited guests, Sir Henry the Fireplace. This queer flame had been causing some drama earlier that week, and he almost got himself uninvited to the party. Episode 7, Elvis the Teapot. Sir Henry the Fireplace almost got himself uninvited to Marcella's party because he kind of smoked out the house, but let me explain. So Steve the Stove and Elvis the Teapot had been in a long-term relationship, but they recently opened their relationship due to an incident. Basically, the power went out one night in the Victorian mansion, and Dr. Hannah Seagrave, the home's primary resident, really wanted some tea. But Steve the Stove was out of commission due to the power outage, so Hannah lit Sir Henry and brewed a cup of chamomile over a roaring fire. And let's just say Elvis the Teapot had never whistled so loudly. When the electricity returned, Elvis told Steve everything, and Steve agreed that if the power ever went out again, it would be okay for Elvis to pass some time simmering over Sir Henry's flames. Steve just wanted his teapot to be happy. Episode 8, A Winter Rivalry Ends. Now, Sir Henry the Fireplace usually felt quite dreary and cold to the stone in the mansion. It was only when Dr. Hannah Seagrave occasionally lit him when he felt truly alive. And his night of amore with Elvis the Teapot was a special surprise. Just a little steam and chamomile petals and a love potion was brewing. Unfortunately, Dr. Hannah Seagrave was unaware of the spell she cast on Sir Henry. And when Sir Henry found out about Elvis's partner Steve, he got himself into such a tizzy that he billowed clouds of smoke in a jealous rage. The entire living room was coated in a sooty black film. Marcella told Sir Henry that she didn't want him at her party if he was going to cause such a stir over a silly and coquettish teapot, but he promised Marcella it would never happen again, and he made peace with Steve the Stove. Episode 9, Hannah is a Witch. It was Dr. Hannah Seagrave who unintentionally caused Sir Henry the Fireplace to fall in love with Elvis the Teapot. Hannah was a part-time art curator and professor of art history at the local university, and her magical living room decor was a manifestation of her acquisitions over the years. She was a witch, but she didn't really know the extent of her powers, which led to some mishaps, one of them being the love spell that she cast on Sir Henry. Whoops. For a moment, she felt a strong heat radiating from Giacomo the thermostat towards Josephine the coffee table, but Hannah saw that Josephine was positioned askew and facing Marcella, the floor lamp, and she knew that lesbian love was percolating. Oh, Giacomo, her very loyal and very straight thermostat. She felt badly that the current living room dynamic was incredibly gay, to say the least. Episode 10, Ty the Basil Plant. Ty, the Arrow Ace basil plant, was incredibly emotional, which was neither good nor bad, just unique. They were either singing joyously at the top of their lungs, swaying their fluttery leaves in the sunshine, or they were breaking down into heavy and laborious tears on cloudy and rainy days. Our Ty was a triple Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Yikes. If you're up for that Scorpio ride, though, it certainly can be thrilling. Ty's world was a bit insular, and they could have benefited from more friends, perhaps a stocky or earthy species like lavender or rosemary, just something soothing and strong to keep them gently grounded on their more melodramatic days. The last thing they needed was a baby Aries or an energetic Sagittarius to jump the scene. Ty occupied the wetter and mellower corner of the room. Episode 11, The Energy Division. In Dr. Hannah Seagrave's Victorian house, the water and earth signs clustered around the east-facing windows, and the fire and air signs cohabitated along the western wall. Ty sat in the east side window, as far as possible from Marcella, the lesbian floor lamp, a Leo, and Sir Henry the Fireplace, a Sagittarius. Dr. Hannah Seagrave knew to keep their flaming highnesses away from dear Ty. Sally the Sunflower was the only exception to this energy division because she was a Leo-Virgo cusp, and thus a mixed fire-earth sign. Her old August soul only spoke to Ty on occasion, offering sage advice before drooping her head. Ironically, the actual sage plant, Maximilian, never had any wisdom for Ty, but Ty was well nurtured by Dr. Hannah Seagrave, who appreciated their emotional days, for Hannah, too, was a triple Scorpio. Episode 12, A Victorian Queer Party. So let's get to the main event, Marcella's Victorian Queer Party. Friday arrived, and the energy in the west wing of the living room was pulsating. That morning, Dr. Hannah Seagrave had almost rearranged the living room furniture to position Josephine closer to Marcella, but she sensed it was too soon. Phew, lesbian U-Haul averted, at least for now. Regardless, Josephine and Marcella were both excited to talk to each other. The love spell that Hannah cast on Sir Henry had worn off, and Giacomo was even feeling better about Josephine turning him down. Most of the kitchen and dining room decor would be in attendance as well. And of course, there would be a spectacularly full moon in Leo that evening. Her lunar presence was expected to be magnificent, confident, and very bright. But you'll have to tune in to season 2 of Queer Storytime to see what happens next. See you then. Welcome to Word of the Week. See if you can guess this one. Hey Dad, I think I want to change my name.
Oh, okay. To what?
Artie?
Oh, that's not too different from Arthur. It's kind of a nickname situation.
No, Arthur just feels too masculine for me, and I'm trying to figure out my queer identity.
Okay. Well, who would you like to know?
Everyone.
Gotcha. Well, we can call your teachers after school tomorrow, and we can tell Mom and Jojo at dinner tonight.
Okay, thanks Dad. Throw your guesses in the comments below. Welcome to Word of the Week. See if you can guess this one.
Hi there. I'd like to speak to the principal, please.
The principal?
Hi, I'm not sure to whom I should direct my query, but my kid would like to use a different name at school, and we would like to inform their teachers of this change. Okay, well that sounds doable. Thank you.
Artie, can you please come set the table? Yes, Mom.
We'll get there.
Throw your guesses in the comments below. We are about to go early vote here in Ohio. Come join us.
We just got here and they're handing out little ballots.
Come vote!
Any tips for first-time voters?
First-time voters, take a sample ballot. Be sure you get one. There's plenty of people out here who will give you one, and take it in with you. It just really helps.
Yay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I used to always know, top of the ticket who is the Democratic candidate, but I didn't always know Supreme Court justices or judges or issues and where I stood on those things. So just having that sample ballot for everything was really helpful.
Are you Carter?
Yes.
Why did you decide to switch schools?
I got kicked out.
Oh?
The school found out I'm gay.
Was it a religious school?
Yeah, my mom sent me to St. Xavier's because she got a voucher, but then I came out and they kicked me out. What is a voucher anyways?
In simple terms, that voucher was money that the government took from the public school system so that your mom could send you to private school.
Is that allowed?
It's controversial that vouchers give public school money to private or religious schools. Some people think that's not where public school funding should go.
Well, public schools have to serve all students, and private schools get to choose who they want.
That's right.
I'm glad to be at a public school that has LGBTQ teachers and supports who I am.
We're happy you're here.